I'm Jasmine.
I'm Sonia, and today we're going to be analyzing the poem Any Human to Another. Jasmine, what do you perceive the meaning of the poem may be?
I believe that the meaning behind the poem is that everyone is the same and can't exclude themselves from everyone. In the lines, "Let no man be so proud and confident to think he is allowed a little tent pitched in a meadow of sun and shadow all his little own," I believe that she's saying that no one should shut themselves out from the rest of the population and should communicate with one another.
You make some pretty compelling points, but I see it differently from your point of view. The poem's meaning is that every individual has felt the emotion of grief and sorrow. Your every grief, like a blade shining and unsheathed, at some point in people's lives they experience the deep effect of sorrow.
I definitely agree with your point of view. Now, what do you think the theme of the poem is?
Well, Jasmine, I'm glad you asked me. The theme of the poem can be interpreted in two ways, one being sorrow and the other as diversity. Let no man be so proud and confident, meaning an individual cannot just up and go wherever you please because you see yourself different.
I definitely agree with your statement, and I believe that the theme of the poem is directed towards diversity in emotions. Joy may be shy, unique, friendly to a few, sorrow never scorned to speak to anyone who were false or true. In this, I believe the speaker believes that many people have experienced joy and happiness a couple of times, but everyone has felt sorrow more than any other emotion.
So, Jasmine, what is your point of view of the purpose?
I think that the purpose of this poem is to inform readers that no person should be overly confident or non-emotional. In her poem, she says, "Let no man be so proud and confident to think he's allowed a little tent." In this line, I believe that she's saying that no person can think they are in any way above others to the point where they exclude themselves.
That's pretty good. I like it.
Thank you. So what is your point of view?
My point of view of the purpose of the poem is to express the fact that no one can exclude themselves. Let no man be so proud and confident, meaning an individual cannot outcast themselves from others because they see themselves as different.
Who do you think the poem was directed to?
The poem's intended audience was everyone but targeted whites mostly. Be fused and mingled, diverse yet single. The title of the poem infers its audience is any human to another. Who do you think the speaker was trying to reach out to?
I believe that the speaker was trying to reach out to everyone, and I believe that this is important to know because it helps piece the poem together. In her lines, "Your grief and mine must intertwine like sea and river, be fused and mingle, diverse yet single." I believe that she's stating that everyone should be together and comfort one another due to the grief that everyone has experienced.
Do you think the speaker of the poem was convincing? Why or why not?
I do believe the speaker is convincing because they implied a personal connection on the behalf of their sorrow. "The ills I sorrowed at, not me alone, like an arrow pierced through the marrow, through the fat, and past the bone." When the speaker used the pronoun I, it allows the readers to determine that their statement was a personal connection between them and the poem.
Thank you, Jasmine. I liked your answer, but I would also like to add that the speaker of the poem was very convincing in her argument about grief and sorrow. Like an arrow pierced to the marrow, she has a personal connection to the topic. Thank you for tuning in on this week's episode of Study Sync.
See you next week.
Bye.